Healthy eating for seniors.
When we talk about healthy eating, it can sound, well, a little intimidating. But this isn't about strict rules or giving up everything you love. Not at all. It's really about making small, thoughtful changes that can make a huge difference. Our whole goal here is just to build some good habits, one simple step at a time.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with how to build a balanced plate, then we'll get into hydration habits, how to solve some common challenges, shopping smart, some really easy meal prep ideas, and we'll finish up with some great convenience and budget tips.
All right, first up, let's build a balanced plate. And you're going to love this because the best part about this method, it's totally visual. Yep, no complicated counting of calories or grams or anything like that. It's just a super simple way to see, at a glance, if you're getting the variety your body really needs.
Okay, so picture your plate right now. It's really this simple. First, you're going to fill half of it, yep, a whole half, with colorful vegetables and fruits. Think bright and vibrant. Now, for 1/4 of the plate, add some lean protein. That could be fish, chicken, maybe some beans. The last quarter, that's for your whole grains, like brown rice, or even a starchy vegetable like a sweet potato. And then, to top it all off, just add a little bit of healthy fat, maybe some avocado or a nice drizzle of olive oil. See, it's a simple formula, and it works.
Okay, let's talk about something that is so important but often gets forgotten: hydration. And here's something you might not know. As we get older, our body's thirst signal can actually get a little weaker. That means it's easier to become dehydrated without even realizing it. And staying hydrated is absolutely critical for your energy, your digestion, and even for keeping your joints healthy.
So, what's the goal? Well, we're aiming for about 6 to 8 glasses of fluid a day. I know, that might sound like a lot, but, and this is a big but, fluid doesn't just mean you have to chug glass after glass of plain water. Actually, hitting that goal is way easier than you think. Things like herbal teas, a nice bowl of soup, even a glass of milk, it all counts. And get this, you can even eat your water. Foods with lots of water, like melons or yogurt, they count too. Think about it, a cup of tea in the morning and some soup for lunch, and you're already well on your way.
All right, let's get real for a minute and talk about some common challenges. Because life happens, right? Sometimes you have a smaller appetite, or maybe your energy is just low, and that can make eating well feel like a real chore. But the good news is there are some really simple, practical fixes that can make a world of difference.
So, let's look at this. If your appetite isn't what it used to be, just try having smaller, more frequent meals instead of trying to force 3 big ones. If you're feeling low on energy or mobility is an issue, well, we're going to talk about some super simple assembly meals in a bit. And if you're noticing some digestive changes, sometimes it's as simple as choosing softer foods or just having slightly smaller portions. See? Simple fixes.
A little bit of planning can honestly go such a long way. It really helps make healthy eating the easy choice, the default option. So this next part is all about taking the stress out of that daily, what am I going to eat question, just by having a simple game plan for shopping.
A fantastic place to start is with a foundational shopping list. Think of it in 2 parts. On one side, you've got your pantry staples. These are the things that last a while, the things you can always have on hand, like canned beans and fish, some oats, brown rice. On the other side, you've got your weekly fresh foods, the seasonal veggies and fruits, maybe some chicken or eggs that you'll grab each week to complete your meals.
And here's a fantastic pro tip for your next trip to the grocery store. Try this. Shop the perimeter of the store first. Why? Well, that's where all the fresh stuff usually is. The produce, the dairy, the lean meats. The middle aisles, that's mostly where the processed foods hang out. So, if you fill your cart with all the good, fresh stuff first, you're already ahead of the game. Okay, so you've got your groceries. Now what? Let's talk about meal prep. And hold on, before you tune out, this does not mean you have to spend your entire Sunday cooking. No way. We're going to look at 2 super low-effort tricks that are perfect for making sure you always have a healthy meal ready to go, especially for those days when you're just not feeling it. The first idea is called batch cooking. It's such a simple concept. Basically, when you do feel like cooking, just make a little bit extra. So if you're making soup, use a bigger pot. Roasting vegetables, fill up the whole pan. Making rice, cook a few extra servings. Then you can just portion it out and have easy meals ready for later in the week. Cook once, eat for days.
Okay, this second strategy might just be a total game changer. It's the idea of assembly meals. Think of these as your ultimate backup plan. These are for the days when cooking is just not going to happen. They need little to no cooking at all, but they can still be super nutritious and delicious.
And here are a few great examples to get you thinking. How about a yogurt bowl with some fresh fruit and a sprinkle of nuts? Or a quick bean salad. Just open a can of beans, maybe add some chopped veggies. Even some whole grain toast with a slice of avocado or a quick cooked egg. These all come together in just minutes, using those staples we talked about.
All right, our last section here is all about eating well on your terms. This means we're going to talk about how to use convenience foods to your advantage to save energy and how to be really smart with your budget, all without giving up on good nutrition.
You know, convenience food sometimes gets a bad rap, but not all of it is created equal. There are some amazing options out there that can be a huge help. Things like pre-cut vegetables, a store-bought rotisserie chicken, or bags of frozen veggies. These are fantastic time savers that can make sticking to your goals so much easier.
And let's talk about budget, because eating well on a fixed income is 100% possible. A few smart moves can make a big difference. Buying produce when it's in season is usually cheaper. Don't forget about frozen fruits and vegetables. They're just as nutritious and often a great value. Choosing store brands for your staples like oats or beans is a no-brainer. And when you see protein on sale, grab it and freeze some for later. These are all practical ways to make your money go further.
So as we start to wrap this up, I really want to bring it back to the most important idea of all. The goal here is progress, not perfection. Nobody's expecting you to be perfect. It's all about finding what works for you and making those small, slow changes that actually feel good and that you can stick with. So, if you take away just one thing from our chat today, let it be this. Just pick one thing to start with. Please, don't try to change everything all at once. Just choose one simple, totally manageable idea that we talked about and give it a try this week. Maybe it's just adding one more vegetable to your dinner. That's it. That's a perfect start. And really, that brings us right to the end. This was never about a massive, complicated overhaul. It's about feeling empowered and just taking that first small step. So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. What one simple choice will you make today to support your health?